Welcome back to some mobility with Fitnixx. I'm going to show you some lat stretches. So the latissimus dorsi is your big back muscle. It kind of goes from down here and attaches on the top up here. So it is one of the biggest back muscles, and any kind of pulling down movements are usually what engages us the most. And often it is very challenging to stretch. I've noticed that myself. So that's why I'm making this video for you guys. So first of all, you can start in a seated or standing position for this one. And you want to reach up, grab your hands, and with your left arm, you're going to pull to the right side and just reach to the side. But also think about lengthening as you do this. And you can do this from a standing position as well. As you exhale, really try to pull a little bit deeper into that stretch. And you're going to feel it all the way down the side. You can also kind of lean back forward if you want to feel it in a different spot, or pull forward. Lean back or pull forward. And you'll feel it in different spots. Ideally, you want to kind of stay centered and just right to the side. And you want to hold your stretch for about 30 seconds. And then back to center. And deep breath in. And then exhale to the other side. And again, you want to reach as far as you can. You can use the opposite arm, this arm here, to slightly pull. Nothing aggressive, just a gentle pull to deepen the stretch. And again, you can do this standing or sitting, whatever is more comfortable for you. So that is a nice one to kind of stretch out a lot of the body, not just your lats, so shoulders, your core, your back, a little bit of everything. That one's always a really nice one to do in the morning, I find, or even throughout the day when you're feeling kind of tight. Next one, we're going to go into a tabletop position. So your hands are under your shoulders, knees under your hips. And we're going to reach our right arm through the left side. And just reach as far as you can, but let your right shoulder come right down to the mat. And you can even rest your head here to kind of help relax. Nice, deep breaths. Now you're going to feel this more in the upper back, so more of the rhomboids, kind of that middle back muscle, but also this is a very hard place to stretch, so I do find this one very effective. And again, you want to hold your stretches for about 30 seconds and just feel that muscle relax. You might feel this through the shoulder a bit too, but that's okay, wherever you're tight. And then coming back to that tabletop position centered, you can do the other side, so left arm through. And again, reaching as far as you can. You're going to feel that whole stretch through the back. And just relax the head. Nice, deep breaths. If you don't feel that stretch, just try to reach a little bit further and almost try to square your shoulders towards the mat. So if you're feeling maybe you're twisting too much, try to twist your upper body to square it off to the mat while you're holding that stretch, and it will kind of help to deepen that stretch. So that you're going to feel mainly in the top part of the back there, but you might feel it in some other places depending on where you are tight. So those are really good static stretches, breathing through and just holding that stretch for at least 30 seconds. The next one I'm going to show you is a myofascial release. So with a foam roller is best. Anything that's a hard surface. If you don't have a foam roller, something like a rolling pin or along those lines might help. Any kind of round, long, but hard. If it's too squishy, it's not going to get deep into that fascia. As I noted in some of my previous video, you will hear that the fascia is basically that little surrounding casing of the muscle. So by releasing the fascia, that's allowing more mobility in the muscle, because often it's not the muscle that's tight, it's the fascia that's tight. So this helps. So what we want to do is start near the bottom of the back. I'll often get into my glutes first and then slowly start to roll up. So I'm going to start on my left side first, so just light on my back, but then slightly leaning to the left just a little bit. And then immediately you're going to put pressure on the foam roll. What I try to do is I lift my hips up just a touch, and that's enough to put more weight onto the foam roll itself. I am going to move this guy just to be safe. So even without sitting on it, you can just put it right to the back and then slowly lean on it. And then shift, and you're just going to slowly roll down. You want to put as much pressure as you can and really slow movements. When you find a really tender spot, just hold it there for about 30 seconds. And again, nice deep breaths. So you may have to rest your arm there, or if you're not really feeling it too much, put all of your weight onto that foam roll. And just slowly walking yourself down. I like to open up my shoulder blades, so pulling my arms out in front allows me to move the shoulder blade so I can get the muscles right under. And you can just kind of move around and find the tender spots. When you find that tender spot, try to put as much weight as you can on there. And just nice deep breaths, holding it there. And then sometimes a little rolling to kind of soothe it out when you're done. And you might feel it kind of traveling. So I got a little knot here, and I can feel it traveling up my back a bit. And just finding those tender spots and holding it and putting as much pressure as you can, but breathing through. Sometimes just doing a few slow rolls up and down is helpful. It can be painful. So just holding those spots. And again, you can use your body to relieve some of the pressure. If you're putting too much weight and it's too much to handle, just take the arm or the leg to put less pressure on the foam roller. Or if you feel like you can do a little more, then take the arm up and put all of the body weight on that foam roller. So this is not just getting the lat. By moving down, I'm getting the erectors, the QL, quadratus lumborum, all of them. And then up into the rhomboid, the trap. You can really get a lot of the muscles with this one pass. So from the lower back, again, I like to start with my elbow down first, because I find that lower back is a bit tender sometimes for myself, but that's where I'm just going to hold and rest on that spot that's a little bit more tender. And again, you always want to shift a little bit to the side. You never want to be directly on your spine when you're rolling through. So just keep that in mind when you're putting more pressure on and when you're rolling through. I'm just going to walk myself down. And again, I'm going to hug myself. So wrap those arms, pull them out front. And it's going to kind of open up the scapula, the shoulder blades, so that I can get the muscles underneath. And I can get right up top. And that's going to get more of my trap. And again, by pulling the head up, you're spreading it out a little bit more and able to get into some different spots. So with foam rolling, listen to your body. You do want to find some of those more tender spots, which can be uncomfortable. Don't push it too much, but you do want to feel the tenderness if you're trying to get the knots out or help release the fascia. Holding it on those tender spots for about 30 seconds. Nice deep breaths. Try to relax as best as you can and move slowly through the foam roller. Again, pausing on those more tender spots and just move around to feel where that tenderness is. That's where you want to get in with the foam roller. And for those smaller spots, like you might have seen in a previous video, like my hip flexor, or the calf muscles, or even the glutes, getting into the piriformis and some of those deep internal rotators, external rotators as well. This is a really great tool. So those are two of my favorite things to really help with mobility. Specifically, those are releasing the fascia around the muscle. But again, some of those static stretches I showed you as well will help kind of release and help stretch the back muscles specifically. Thanks again for joining, and until next time.